Hey everybody, welcome back to the I'm Book podcast. I'm April O'Leary and I'm excited to be here for episode 96. And as I was working on building out this episode, one of the things that is a highly popular search term, which will not surprise you, is how to publish a book. And so that's what we're going to talk about on today's episode. 7 simple things to know about how to publish a book. We're going to get a little bit into some conceptual things, some technical things. And at the end of this episode, I think you're going to really find that you have a clear path to move forward to get your idea out of your head and into the hands of your future readers. So I'm April O'Leary with O'Leary Publishing. And here's the thing. If you've got a story or you've got a message or a big idea that's been tapping you on the shoulder, maybe for months, maybe for years, you're absolutely in the right place. So whether you're a first-time author or you're thinking about writing a book to grow your brand or your business or your impact, this episode is actually your roadmap. So here's the 7 steps that I would suggest for you to get started on publishing that book. That is a dream. That doesn't have to be a dream. It can be your reality this year. This year, I guarantee it can be a reality this year. So step number 1 is know why you're writing the book. I just got an email today from somebody actually who sent me a link to their blog where they had published a bunch of material that they were curious if we might be interested in publishing. And they said, acknowledge that I probably have a lot of things to read. Could I take a peek at it, etc.? And this is not uncommon. This happens to me all the time. And as a hybrid publisher, and we'll get into this a little bit later about choosing the type of publisher you want to work with, to me, the number one thing is not how well is the book written, because generally a first draft is something that needs to be worked on with an editor. So don't worry necessarily about your writing skills or if everything's in the right order or if it sounds super interesting. It's not the first question that needs to be answered. I need to understand as a publisher, why do you want to write this book? So is it you want to grow as a speaker, possibly? Or do you want to share your life story or the life story of somebody else who's meaningful to you? Do you want to help other people heal? Do you want to leave a legacy for your kids? Or do you want to just get all those ideas out of your head and into the world and just see what things can happen and what doors will open for you? Any of those are great reasons to write a book, but it's important for you to know why you want to write it. So we help people dig deeper with that. We have a process and a book called Manuscript Magic that kind of helps you get that clarified. And not only that, but the reader, who are they specifically, very specifically? What is that takeaway that you hope for them to get from your book and that kind of thing? So I encourage you to download Manuscript Magic for free at o'learypublishing.com right now. It's our gift to you, and it's 7 simple steps to help you write a book. So you got to really clarify all of that. And writing a book isn't just about putting words on paper. It's about alignment. It's your voice, your mission, and your future self. So think about all those things. It's super important. When you understand why, the technical side of getting that idea into a book is less difficult because you know that there's a purpose for it. So step number 2 is choosing your publishing path. So again, I'm a hybrid publisher. I own a hybrid publishing company called O'Leary Publishing. What that means is we are a company that specializes in working with new authors. So you don't necessarily have to already have an author brand. You don't necessarily have to have a reader base or a huge social media following, or even have writing skills necessarily, because we bring all of our team together to rally behind you, to help you get the writing done, to help you edit and polish it, to help get that design done. And that's all done for a publishing package fee that the author pays for the publishing service. So we take all of the skills, all of the teamwork, all of the things that a traditional publisher would have to offer, and we do that for a package fee that someone like you, possibly a new author, can access those publishing resources. Now, a traditional publishing company will offer those same resources, but they will pay for those resources on your behalf as part of your publishing contract, but they do that because you already have a reader base. You already have a social media following. You already have an author brand, for example. So they know that your book will sell and that they'll be able to make money on the book sales. So self-publishing is the cheapest and probably most difficult way to go. And I say cheap in the sense that you might have to spend a little less money, but you're going to spend a lot more time and you're going to have to learn a lot more and you're going to have to resource and source your team on your own. So doing all of that on your own is not necessarily advisable, but it's doable for those who are limited on their financial resources. So we love at O'Leary Publishing to offer that high quality support of a traditional publishing house with the freedom of ownership of self-publishing. But we guide you every step of the way. We make sure that you keep your rights, that you're involved in all the creative decisions, and we bring that dream team in to make sure that the final product is professional and beautiful and impactful. So you don't have to figure it out on your own, and you don't have to compromise on the quality. So those are two great reasons to go with a hybrid publisher. So step 3 is start writing, obviously, and you can do that with or without help. Now, most first-time authors need help. Some experienced authors even need help because collaboration and teamwork is really an important piece of that challenge that you're going to get, that intellectual stimulation, those questions, that iron sharpening iron experience. But often, writing something down on your own first can be a great starting place. So you can do that, realizing that when you turn in that first draft manuscript to whatever publisher you're working with, there is going to be an editorial process. And so don't worry about trying to make it perfect or sound perfect. It's not going to be. It's just the first draft. So we support authors in a few different ways depending on where you're at. Some people come to us with a rough draft already written, as I said, and others have an outline or a bunch of notes on a voice app, for example, some transcripts maybe. Some have a dream and an idea, but no words written yet. And it doesn't matter. Wherever you are, we can help you. From ghostwriting to coaching to developmental editing, we can bring your book to life in a way that's authentic to you. And that's very important to know, is no matter what type of editorial experience and team you work with, you want to make sure that they maintain your voice throughout the process. We have a book coming out soon that's written by an author who has suffered with schizophrenia for her entire life, and she has come into reality, which is an exceptionally rare occurrence. She's a beautiful soul, and she has a very unique voice and a very unique perspective in her book. And so we wanted to make sure that we maintained that throughout the process. So make sure that your editorial team keeps the authenticity in your voice. So step 4 is the editing process. So whether you write it on your own or whether you're working with an editorial team, there are some different layers to editorial that happen once all the words are on paper. We've got developmental editing, which is all the pieces in the right place. Does the beginning make sense? Does the ending conclude well? Do all the chapters flow in the right order? And we work really with nonfiction authors. Obviously, in a fiction book, the editing is going to be a little bit different. But thinking through the reader experience, do they get that vision and that message and your why the entire way through the book? So the developmental editing is that really precise process of seeing it through the lens of a reader and understanding that their trajectory through your book makes sense. Once that's done, it goes to line editing. And that's where all of that cleanup and tightening of the words and making that tone and that flow sound great. So there are specific editors that will do that on your behalf. And you will have the right to work with them and to accept or reject their edits. That's the way we do it at O'Leary Publishing, because we want to make sure that you have the experience of control throughout the entire editing process. We never take the manuscript away from you. We give you the chance to say yes or no to any of the suggestions. And then at the end, of course, we've got the proofreading, which you don't need to be a part of. That's just really to make sure that all the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, the commas are in the right place. It is amazing how meticulous that process is. So I'm not even involved in that process because our proofreaders are trained with that Chicago Manual of Style. And you want to make sure that whatever proofreader you use, that you don't only use Grammarly or WordCheck on your word processor, but you really have a human set of eyes going through it. So that's step number 4. Step number 5 is make sure that you have a design that turns heads. So what do I mean by that? Don't design the book yourself. Please, for the love of God, do not go into Canva and design your own book cover. Don't use AI to design your book cover. Use an artist, a graphic artist, to design your book cover. Someone who is familiar with graphic design for books. The cover and the interior need to look sharp, professional, clean, artistic, well-balanced, on brand for you, and current with whatever genre your book is in. Just like interior design rotates when you're looking at houses, for example, like what was popular in the 1970s, that orange shag carpeting is not popular in 2025. Thank goodness for that. Books that were designed in the 70s had a certain look and feel to them. That is not how books are designed today. And even books that were in the early 2000s or the 2010s, the design is different. It's updated, it's modernized, it's always changing. So you want to make sure that you have a book that really speaks professionally on your behalf. So do that for your book. Make sure it has that you work with a professional designer and that your publishing company offers you custom book design. Step 6 is publish and distribute your book. So this is where it all really starts to feel real. You've got your manuscript, it's edited, you've got a beautiful cover, you've signed off on those so that your publisher knows that they're ready to go. And all of that comes down to having a professionally designed cover and a professionally designed interior file that are printable, that are distributable. Now, your publisher is going to work with a distributor. They're going to get them those files, and those files will have an ISBN number, Library of Congress number. You want to make sure they submit it to the Copyright Office for you, and your book will be available in paperback version. You may also opt to have an e-book version. You may opt to have a hardcover version with a case laminate cover or a dust jacket cover. All of those are possible, and you want to make sure that your book is distributed definitely in Amazon, but that it gets distribution outside of Amazon too. So you want to work with a publisher and a distributor who has wide reach, a worldwide reach, and where you are able to get that support around the globe from start to finish. The last step, and the most important step, I believe is the most important step, is marketing your book, launching your book. You can have the most compelling book design, the most beautiful cover, the most poignant points that are going to change the world. But if nobody knows you exist, what does it matter? Yes, you might have had a great experience writing that book. And some of our authors, that's their why. They really need to get the book out of their heart and out of their head and into the world. And just the act of doing that feels cathartic. That is okay if that's your why. But if your why is bigger, if your why is badder, if your why has an oomph behind it to reach people, to help you get on stages, speaking on podcasts, doing YouTube videos, building your social media, impacting in a way that is bigger than you, you have to have a book launch and a book marketing plan. This is where at O'Leary Publishing, we really make sure that you get that pre-launch support and that launch support that are so essential to getting that initial liftoff. Now, for new authors, it's going to start with your warm network. There's no way around that. You want to reach out to every person you've ever had contact with. And when I say that, I really do mean it. Every LinkedIn contact, every social media platform you're on, every contact that is in your cell phone should receive a message from you to say something like the following. Hey, Susan. Hey, Fred. It's been a while since we chatted. I would love to catch up soon. I just wanted to let you know I'm launching my first book and I'm so excited about it. The title of it is I'm a Super Badass, or whatever your title is. And here's the link. I would love if you could purchase a copy. That would mean everything to me to have your support. I'm also having a book launch party. You could tell them the details of that, whether that's on Zoom or whether it's in person at a certain location. Please feel free to share this text and let me know what's going on in your life. Always make those messages reciprocal. You want to make sure that it's very clear that you are giving them a specific actionable item and that you're also asking how they're doing, because that's just being a good human. Doing that around the launch, where you make sure every person you know is going to help you get that book launched off the ground. And then from there, you have to work with a PR company, a podcast booking company, a social media marketing company, any type of marketing that you feel is important for you and your brand. Outsource that. Get people to help you with it. Being a creative, being an author does not mean that you are a marketer. And I've seen this happen before where we've had authors who have done excellent with marketing their books. We've had authors who have intended their purpose to write their book for their own purpose, their catharsis of the end of a healing journey or a spiritual awakening or something like that. And we've had authors that really wanted their book to get out there, but they didn't have the marketing plan, budget, or team. And so your publisher is not going to be responsible for that for you. A publisher's responsibility is to help you get the best book possible out of your head and into the world. After that, beyond that, it's your job to market and reach your audience. All of this to say that there's a lot of ways to go about publishing a book, a lot of steps in the process, but it's all doable. Millions of books are published every year by millions of people, just like you, just like me, who have had profound life experiences, who have creativity they want to share, who want to heal or share a story of their friends, their family, or themselves, who just feel like it's a bucket list item that they want to check off, and they know they need to do it. Maybe it's a spiritual charge that you've been given, that you know you're on this planet for your voice to be heard, and you have to do it for that reason. So I'm charging you now to say yes to that voice. And let's go over just one last time these 7 simple steps to publishing a book. And you'll find out by doing it, that feeling of accomplishment is something that I can hardly describe as an author myself. So number 1 is know why you're writing that book. Really define that why. Number 2, choose your publishing path, your publishing partner that is going to help you get that book out of your head and into the world. And then step 3, start writing it with help or without help, however you prefer. Get that first draft done. Step 4 is editing the book, working with an editorial team. Step 5 is working with a designer who really knows what they're doing and making sure your book is on brand for you. Step 6 is the publishing and distributing process and how you're going to make sure that that book has as much reach as possible. And step 7 is launching that book with success and marketing it for the long term. So at O'Leary Publishing, we help our authors do that. We help you get all those 7 steps done with professionalism, with a lot of fun, a lot of banter, a lot of discovery along the way. You will find that the process of publishing a book is like having a whole new team of people, a whole new group of family that is here to support you, to give you that value and show you that your voice really does matter. So if that book idea has been following you around and you've been saying, maybe next year, or I'm too busy right now, maybe this is your sign. This could be your sign. So I encourage you to visit o'learypublishing.com, download Manuscript Magic, make sure you read those 7 simple steps, schedule a publishing consultation. I would be happy to speak with you. And I believe in the power of books. That's why I started O'Leary Publishing 7 years ago, because I had written my own first book in 2012, and I saw how many doors it opened for me. At that time, I was life coaching, and I realized that my voice, as limited as it was as a mom with 3 young kids at the time, that I could amplify my voice in a way that I couldn't with the hours I had in my available day-to-day time. And that book helped me to launch courses, helped me to launch conferences, and it helped me to eventually start O'Leary Publishing. So I believe in you. I believe in that book that you have in your heart and in your head. And I believe that together we can make amazing things happen. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope this helped make the whole process of publishing a book feel a little bit more doable and a lot more exciting. So until next time, keep writing, keep dreaming, and remember, you do not have to publish a book alone. We are here to help you publish your book. Have an amazing day, and check us out at o'learypublishing.com.